Mayday, Mayday. America's going down. America's going down. Democracy is under attack. And to all of my friends in all the other countries asking me questions, all I can say is we're trying. We're trying. It's our Mayday protest all across the country today. I am awaiting knee surgery, or I would be there, but it's a march this time, and I'm good at standing around, but not so much at marching these days. So I'm going to just contribute here and say, what the hell is going on? Elon Musk compares himself to Buddha. Did you hear what he said in his self-deprecating hour-long interview? Not so much self-deprecating, and his blaming everybody else, whining little boy, nobody likes me. I don't know why thing last night. He says, I wrote it down. He said, he told his followers, you are the media now on X. And he said, is Buddha needed for Buddhism regarding Doge, regarding him leaving Doge, but keeping his little office, which he brags is little, and talks about getting Haagen-Dazs out of the White House kitchen. I'm sorry, Haagen-Dazs. That's going to maybe cause some problems with you. Hopefully everyone loves your caramel and chocolate enough to not take it against you that Elon Musk and the White House stocks Haagen-Dazs. Who doesn't like a good Haagen-Dazs now and then? So don't blame them. But I'm just saying, this is insanity. Trump has compared himself to Jesus Christ and gave his spiritual advisor / meaning priestess for the rich, an office. I'm just Mayday again. It's Mayday, and I'd like to say Mayday. Maybe I'll even put some volume on this thing. Mayday, Mayday, help, help. Here in America, we are scared. We are. I'm not afraid to admit I'm scared. Of course I'm scared. I'm terrified. This is insanity. My children live here. I'm on the outward side of life anyway at my age, most likely, depending on medicine and luck. But everybody I love and care about is being affected. And I am thinking about the future. And when people ask me, why are you fighting about abortion rights at your age? I'm like, because I've had two. One of them paved the way for the 3 children I now have when I had a medically necessary abortion, because the doctor said, you need to have this. Your baby has died. Nowadays, you couldn't even do that. You couldn't even have an abortion, which we call a D&C, when you're taken by the doctors to remove a dead fetus. But no, you'd have to prove it. You'd have to prove it was dead. You'd have to prove that you weren't in cahoots with the doctor. The doctor wasn't in cahoots with you so that you could have an illegal abortion and you're just calling it something else. It's just insane what people are going through just to try to save their own lives when they have an ectopic pregnancy. And then we've got Elon Musk comparing himself to Buddha. Is Buddha needed for Buddhism? I have done what I have in Doge, and what I've done will remain. And all that stealing your personal data, we just had to map. He's like, we just had to map the infrastructure. Well, he did it, and he said he did it. Elon Musk has mapped every piece of personal data that you or I have. My son worked for the FBI briefly in a project, and he said, there is nothing they do not know about you. Nothing. Causing me to beg forgiveness and say I'm sorry for whatever you saw. No, just kidding. Led a pretty out of trouble life once I got out of my own situation of being sexually groomed and assaulted for 7 years of my childhood. And I learned how to be nice to other people long before I learned how to be nice to me. And it's just crazy to me that this extreme right side carefully enacted an agenda that they've been working on since Reagan years and have literally taken over the judicial process. But we do have a chance to win the House back now. We can get the House back. And I have donated, I'm living on disability. I have donated every last Democratic trying to get people in office. Watch for the states that really need you now and put money. Unfortunately, it's a money game. It's a numbers game. Everything is. You don't have to like it, and I don't either. I mean, from me and my book coming out, book sales, endorsements, letters going out. That's why I haven't been live streaming the last couple of days. I've been working with David Friedman, the author of Food Sanity, on celebrity endorsement letters. It's like we're all trying to promote ourselves. And like I said in my last live stream, to people who think we're trying to be socialists, it's like there's such a thing as social democracy. A social democratic society provides the basics. Everybody gets health care. Everybody gets medicine. Everybody doesn't have a bill for that. We pay for that with taxpayer dollars. There's decent infrastructure. I think it's what? Sweden, they get 5 weeks paid vacation a year. It's just working yourself to the bone because rich people want you to so that they can get richer. Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not in. I'm out. If you're not in, you're out. I'm out. That was really terrible. Sorry. I don't know why I try to do impressions because I suck at them. It's because I think I can do it because I speak German a little bit. But mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut. I grew up in Hermann, Missouri, einen kleinen deutschen Volk, wohin die alten Volk sprechen Deutsch nur an der Straße. So the elderly people still speak German on the streets in Herman. And of course, they try to preserve that thing. As a Celt, I danced around the maypole with everybody else in my flower dress and my flower wreath. And they just pull you out of school. They taught us German dancing in the school system. And then we would entertain tourists in Herman for everything. The Wurstfest, the Maifest, the Oktoberfest. There are other fests you don't even know about that happen in between the big fests. And my fest, of course, is the weaving dance of the maypole. I was just thinking, my hometown is largely Republican, and there are people there that don't like me. Shocker. There are people there that think that I'm a liberal nutcase. I think we're all a little bit crazy. We live in this society. Liberal, absolutely. As hell, not so much. I'm actually pretty fiscally moderate, to tell you the truth. We can get into all those things, but it used to be that my vote mattered, and right now, I'm more concerned with the voting system than my vote. I'm more concerned with the words that came out of Trump's mouth when he said that they were going to win, and when he said Elon Musk knows these voting machines better than anybody. And it just, I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist, but I'm going to say that there will be no future vote that matters if we don't secure our voting system. And both sides say that. So it seems like that's something we could meet in the middle on. It seems like it should be. And how hard is that? So again, it just feels like sanity's left the building because things that we used to agree on, like if you lose, you lose, if you win, you win, and then you just work on grassroots levels for 4 more years and you try to win again. Now it's like, no, I'm going to run again. He's already, Chumpster Fire is already promoting 2028 Trump gear. So there's no mixed messaging here. We know exactly what the agenda is. Are you with him? Because I say, Mayday, Mayday, back to the top. Democracy is under threat and sinking. We need help. And as the superpower of the world, do you know who's waiting to help us? Nobody. Nobody is waiting to help us. We have to do that from within. We, as citizens, have got to move the vote and secure the vote. So I am saying, if we don't want this sink to ship, and you don't want to be the last, or at least one of the last 4 till he gets out of office, Maydays that we are under attack by the billionaire class who cares nothing about us, who wants nothing but to take education away from people so that they can turn people into ignorant purveyors of their message and their lies and people to feed the coffers of the kings. The oligarchs want you to be stupid so that you will feed the coffers of them. And that's exactly what the system is designed to do. And the new tax breaks for the wealthy that are happening, just nail it down even more than ever. The only time I saw a great picture, it was a picture of a family by a car, a nice home in America with a kid. And they're like, used to be a family could be supported on one income. You could still put your kids in college, own a home and a car, it'd be okay. And now you can't possibly do that. But they've tricked you. They've tricked us into thinking that we all can be millionaires if we try hard enough. And there's just not enough millionaire space to go around. We can all try really hard. And I also agree, you can be a millionaire. And nowadays, that ain't a whole lot. That's just kind of a start. The thing is, shouldn't we be allowed to just be people? If 40% of Americans, and they do, live paycheck to paycheck, shouldn't we have a society where people can save more? Where there are better avenues to education, to where people can access their medicine? I have been prescribed a medicine since 2020 that I cannot afford. My doctors have tried. I have long COVID and lymphocytic colitis, and it's all hell. And it's like childbirth every morning, I'm telling you, for hours and hours and hours. And since 2020, when this started, when I had COVID, I have been prescribed budesonide, and it is so expensive. It's over $1,000 a month. I can't afford it. So I am one of those Americans who cannot afford the medicine prescribed to me. And my doctors have written letters and such and tried to get it to be covered by Medicare. And Medicare is like, nope. In fact, they told me it was covered. The Medicare representative, yes, we'll get that all fixed. Denied. Call them back. Yes, we'll get that all fixed. Denied again. Tried to call back. There's nobody to call now. There's nobody to call. I got a letter saying, call or we're going to cut you off. You have to redo your stuff. And I'm like, cool. I called and I called and I called. And I finally got somebody who put me off and said, okay, I'll write that down. He'll call you. That was a month and a half ago. I have no idea if my Social Security will be deposited or not until it is, based on the fact that I've never done this thing they say I have to do. And this is part of like what Elon Musk said, oh, there were mistakes made in the process. It's like, well, that's why you go slow the hell down. That's why you don't do it this fast. That's why you don't put over 26,000 federal employees out of work without a fucking contingency plan. I'm not supposed to cuss anymore, but I don't care. You need a plan. You don't hurt all citizens. And then to see people in the cult of MAGA who are being personally hurt say, well, it's all for a good end. It's like they've got them tricked into thinking that there's a manufacturing America left. There's not. We will manufacture some things, but it's a global world. And we have set up a global world of balanced, unequal, but balanced. And there are reasons for that all make economic sense to economists. Maybe not to you, maybe not to me completely because I haven't studied it, but I do read enough to go, oh, I think the people that study this, the scientists, the people who spent years and years of their lives examining history and trends and futures, I'm going to put my trust in them. Let the bread bakers bake the bread. You are no bread baker when it comes to the economy and tariffs. And if you think that we can make all the clothes Americans need to wear and all the shoes we need to wear and all the electronics that we want to buy, then you are in for a sad awakening. Prepare to have less. Based on your vote, prepare to have less. My husband and I bought the giant stash of Mormon food. That's how insecure we feel about the future. It's not even our favorite foods, but you know what? I can live on rice and beans and wheat berries if that's what I need to do, and apple slices and everything that they offer, because we don't know. We're living with a question mark over our heads, and nobody in this world should have to live with a question mark over their head every day. For much of the world, it's just a question mark of where will I sleep? How will I eat? Can I keep my kids alive? That's horrifying. And Americans, we're spoiled, they say, and we are, if you want to look at the global picture. But I like to think of it as good planning. We planned this. We got away from our oppressors. We even made friends with them again. We love the UK, they love us. We established a world where everybody could be free, no matter what their religion. We established a place, and we finally gave women the right to vote. Believe it or not, people think we're leaders in things. Women had the right to vote in 622 in Islam. Just saying. Islamic countries. There are so many things that we can do to improve the situation, believe it or not. So instead of feeling hopeless, I'm calling out Mayday, Mayday. That's for real. It's a real call, because anybody that can help with this cause, anybody that can help with grassroots promotion of candidates, anybody that can repost, anybody that will go live like me. I'm nobody special. Unless I care about my country. I don't do this for attention. I've got funny teeth and I'm old. I always have gray roots because my hair grows too fast. I don't care. It's time to put your mouth where your country is. No progressives are against, back to the top or the middle or somewhere in there. No progressives are against making money. I want to get rich. I will probably use most of it moving it to help other people, because that's what rich people should do. But you do what you want with your money, as long as you allow us to remove a proportional income tax like everybody else that will fund everything that we need, education, infrastructure, medical wise. The only thing in the way of us having all of that are less than 1% of people, are literally 4 Americans that own more than half of the wealth of the country, and another handful that own most of the rest. And then there's us trying to live paycheck to paycheck. Many and most of us. That is not something that you should be proud of. That is something you should vote to make better, isn't it? Are you a spiritual person on any level? Did anyone in your life ever say be nice to other people? Did anyone in your life ever say don't be greedy? Why do billionaires need more and more billions? Why? Marjorie Taylor Greene is now being accused of insider trading. Well, not quite, but she will be saying I'm accusing Marjorie Taylor Greene of insider trading, because I wrote it down. Let's see. She is now on the Homeland Security Committee, and she bought Pallader, I don't know how it's pronounced, Pallader stock on April 8th. And on April 17th, an ICE deal was made with, guess who? Pallader, or whoever, can't pronounce, causing her to have a 48% increase in her investments in 3 weeks, to the tune of millions and millions and millions of dollars. Martha Stewart got put on house arrest for essentially trying to save her own company, trying to inside trade, but within her own company. MTG just clearly invested in a company, then did a deal with ICE so she would make a bunch of money on it. The knuckle draggers don't think stupid people don't win. Stupid people have won all throughout history. Smart people think it's all going to work out. We think logic and rationale will win in the end. Kind people think it's all going to work out. We think love and kindness will win in the end. But you know what? In a billionaire class of people that don't have love and kindness, have never known what it's like to live like you and I do, those aren't things they think about. They're not. So you need to think about them. And your vote is the only thing standing between you and free medical care like every other first world country. So you don't have to go bankrupt or not get your medicine like I haven't been able to get for 5 years now because they won't cover it and you don't have a spare grand a month. It's like someone said something to me like I was wealthy. I'm like, I'm in my back bedroom. Oftentimes I can't start because of the construction outside. There's no soundproofing. Sometimes it's just too damned hot in here. My book and the public appearances I've booked at the National Publicity Summit are definitely going to change the picture. And I've worked very hard for that. And like I said, I'm a capitalist. I want to make lots of money. And I'm a progressive. I want to make the planet healthy and safe. And I'm a liberal. I want everybody to benefit from that and have equal rights. And I'm a woman, so I don't want to be second to anybody ever. I just want my equal place in this world. So back to the top, I suppose. I haven't put my hat on today. You wouldn't believe how many more views I get if I wear the hat. So, Mayday. Let's go on with that bitch. Mayday, Mayday. Please vote for the things that help you and others instead of your party, your husband, and some ridiculous religious agenda. I'm not calling your religion ridiculous. I like studying religions. I do. But I am saying work within yours. And we'll talk about that in the spirit section. Next Wednesday, we'll get back to the spirit. The last S in spades. Look what I got. These are my new shooting earmuffs. So I don't, like, if I have to shoot, I have so many death threats that, like, you don't want to, like, pull a trigger without these on or you're not going to hear anything for a while. And that would be problematic in a home invasion. So enjoying them. They are impact sport. Just saying. Take care. And I will talk to you soon.